The new moon occurs on Sunday, September 21st at 1:54 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. New moons are always a great time for drawing down into our core, a time for deep reflection, which is accentuated by this being a partial solar eclipse as well. This is our second new moon in Virgo, which is pretty unusual. The first happened at 0 degrees Virgo, the very beginning point of that sign, and this one occurs at its very end at 29 degrees Virgo. This means that these two moons have provided us a container for opening to the particular gifts of Virgo season. This moon is further strengthened by the configuration it forms with Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune, which we'll talk about in more detail soon. So let's begin. Allow your vision to soften, perhaps closing your eyes so the particulars of your outer world recede. In honor of Virgo's earthiness, tune in to your body, your own very particular patch of earth. Feel your lungs expand and contract with each breath as you notice the rise and fall of chest or belly. As sweet air fills you with life-giving oxygen on the inhalation, imagine it circulating throughout your body and spirit, gathering up anything that is no longer helpful, and on the exhalation, releasing it. Follow this pattern for a few cycles of breath. Allow your body to breathe on its own now as you listen to my words about this new moon. In the first Virgo new moon meditation, we talked about Virgo as the sign of Virgin in its metaphoric sense, as being complete unto oneself, not in a way that rejects healthy connection, but in a way that knows the most important connection of all is to ourselves. We invoked the Vestal virgins of ancient times, who were priestesses who tended the sacred fires in the temple of Vesta, goddess of the hearth. As Virgo season is the perfect time to tend the sacred flame in our own temple, we imagined ourselves doing so, and we'll be doing that again in a minute or two. But first, that kite formation I mentioned earlier. In astrology, the energy of an individual planet can be influenced by that of another, with the quality of that influence depending on the number of degrees between them. At this new moon, Sun and Moon are both at 29 degrees Virgo, with Uranus about 90 degrees to one side in Gemini, and Pluto roughly 90 degrees on the other side in Aquarius. This forms a grand trine or a grand triangle, which is a harmonious aspect, allowing the energies of each to blend together in a friendly way. What turns this triangle into a kite, though, is its string. Saturn and Neptune are close to one another, directly across from Sun and Moon, an opposition that can feel quite like the tug of a kite string exerting itself on the kite, pulling hard to sort of get its attention. Let's tug our own attention back to our body and our breath. Breathe in deep devotion to your very own hearth fire, your unique heart fire. And breathe out whatever might be diminishing its shine. As you breathe in, your hearth fire grows brighter and brighter, And as you exhale, that flame grows brighter still as anything that tries to keep it small, tries to keep you small, is released. Continue to breathe in this way for a few cycles of breath. Now see or pretend you see yourself within a temple. If you listened to the meditation 4 weeks ago, the same temple image may arise, or it may be subtly or significantly different. This temple is likely not any religious institution you've ever seen in what we call the real world, but one entirely of your own creation. Perhaps your temple is held within a structure, large or small, or maybe it lies within the natural world, a grotto or sacred grove, or an open area beneath the wide expanse of sky. Become acquainted with this temple. And notice now that there is a hearth of some kind within it, a fireplace or stone circle within which burns a sacred flame, a flame that symbolizes your essence, your very own you-ness. Imagine this hearth and its temple in as much detail as possible. Its size, its shape, the material from which it's made. And see too the fire that burns within this protected space. Sit before this hearth fire now and gaze into its flame. In the safety and calm beauty of this space, we'll work with the kite formation of this moon. First, bring to mind the harmonious triangle formed by Sun and Moon at the apex, Uranus at one corner, Pluto at the other. Sun and Moon in the Earth sign of Virgo ask you to consider the state of your relationship to your sacred fire, yourself, represented by the sun, and your moon heart. How well are you listening to the nudges of your higher self? How well are you acting in accordance with your true needs? The same with the state of your heart. How well are you attending to your emotional nature and listening to your intuition? Uranus, the planet of breakthroughs and sudden flashes of insight, weighs in now. Moving retrograde through the air sign Gemini, Uranus wants you to reflect on old patterns of thought or communication that might still be hanging around and making it harder to tend your fire. What changes might be helpful to make in your beliefs and how you relate to others? Now it's Pluto's turn. The planet of deep transformation, Pluto retrograde in area Aquarius, asks, how is your Virgo sacred flame showing itself out in the world? Are there changes you can make so your own particular spark can shine more fully? So that's the triangle of the kite itself. And now it's time for the tug of the kite's string. Two planets are exerting their pull. Neptune, the planet that opens us to the mystery of the cosmos, and Saturn, the planet of structure and commitment. Neptune is at 0 degrees Aries, about to step back into its home sign of Pisces, which knows all about the mystery of the cosmos. Neptune here is asking that kite to reflect on how you can better access your spirituality, while Saturn, already in Pisces, is offering its assistance in doing so in a grounded and structured way. What practices would help you better tend your sacred soul fire and live from spirit even more fully than you already do? As you sit in the temple before your soul's hearth, watch the fire that burns there, maybe seeing it grow brighter with every breath. This hearth is an essential part of you that we've imagined outside of you just for the purpose of this meditation, but you know you carry it always within you. Just as we did in the last Virgo New Moon meditation. Now imaginatively pull this hearth and the fire that burns there into your body and spirit. Feel its glow in the deepest part of you as you imagine yourself standing or sitting or lying down beneath a night sky filled to overflowing with starlight. Let that starlight wash over you as you absorb it into every cell of your being, recognizing it as fuel for the holy fire of your personal and very sacred hearth. Perhaps it's time to embody an even deeper devotion to being the tender of your sacred flame as you grow in awareness of the myriad ways to nurture your soul. Remain here for however long you'd like. I'll be back in about 2 weeks' time with a meditation for the next full moon, which finds the sun having moved into Libra and the moon having zipped across the zodiac into fiery Aries. Until then, tend that sacred flame, dear one. Tend, and tend some more so that your flame grows even brighter and shines out even more fully into the world. Blessed be, and namaste.